This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. A Crush on Her Best Friend's Brother, Complete Box Set, by Sharon Cummin. A Crush on Her Best Friend's Brother, Part 1. Rachel had been away from her best friend Karen for 3 whole months. It was the longest they had been apart since they were 12. Rachel remembered moving in across the street like it was yesterday. Her mother had been offered a job in the area. When Karen ran across the street to introduce herself, they became best friends instantly. The girls would visit each other after school and sleep over almost every weekend. When they were accepted to colleges on opposite sides of the map, they were devastated. They talked and emailed every day, but it wasn't the same as being face to face. It was Thanksgiving break, and they were both home for 4 days. They had been on the phone making plans for their time off. Karen was flying in 1 day earlier, but made Rachel promise to come over as soon as the cab dropped her off. Rachel felt tired from the flight as she stepped out of the cab. She grabbed her bags and looked across the street to her best friend's house. It would only take her a few minutes to take her bags in and freshen up. She wanted to grab a drink and something small to eat before running across to see her friend. They had so much to catch up on. She wanted to talk about school, her dorm, and of course the boys she had met since she left. Quickly, she pulled her phone out to text Karen. "Rachel, I'm home but need to do a couple of things. I'll be over in a few minutes." She shoved her phone into the back pocket of her jeans and went to the kitchen. When she was finished with her drink and snack, her friend still hadn't texted her back. She was probably watching television downstairs or something, Rachel thought. She had seen Karen's car in the driveway, so she knew she must have been home. Rachel hurried to her room and got ready. She pulled her ponytail holder out of her long brown hair and brushed it, as she left it down around her neck. Then she put on a little makeup. A pair of jeans and t-shirt were good enough. They weren't going out right away, and she could run home and change if they did. She stood in front of the mirror and thought. Karen had one brother. His name was Brad. He was a complete ass. Rachel couldn't stand him. When she had first moved in, she thought he was really cute. He was 2 years ahead of her in school and star of the football team. The better he got at the game, the bigger his head became. He had brown hair, blue eyes, and a muscular body. She could see why all the girls liked him. Brad was extremely good-looking, but his personality was the worst. He was so full of himself and thought he was God's gift to women. She was surprised that he kept his grades at such a high level as much as he was out with friends all the time. He was sarcastic and extremely cocky. She made sure to stay away from Karen's house when her brother was home. He made jokes about the 2 girls and seemed to enjoy calling them names around his friends. She couldn't stand to even look at him, not anymore. She hadn't always felt that way about him. When she was 13, she thought he was the cutest boy in the world. He loved football and worked hard to the best he could be at it. She watched him practice and play in the yard with his friends almost every day. He had passion for the game, and she looked up to him. They shared a moment once, but she made sure never to tell her best friend. Rachel was sleeping over their house and woke up in the middle of the night. When she walked past his room, she noticed he was still awake and went in to talk to him. He was 16 and she thought he could do no wrong. She couldn't even remember how it happened, but they shared a very passionate kiss. It was her first kiss, and she felt so special. He was in high school and so grown up. She couldn't believe it had really happened. Rachel felt so good, but neither of them ever mentioned that kiss again. When she started high school, she realized he wasn't who she thought. He thought he could get away with whatever he wanted because of his status on the football team. She had seen him move from girl to girl his entire senior year. He wasn't that sweet guy she remembered. He was someone completely different. When he got a football scholarship away from home, she was thrilled that she wouldn't have to see him anymore. Brad was in his 3rd year of college and away most of the year. He played football and spent most of the summer close to school. The only time he went home was for holidays, and Rachel had managed to avoid him every single time since he first left. She hadn't seen him since she was 15. His parents turned his room into an office.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.